What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Ethereum today. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 6th day of March, and here we are sitting at about $2,000 with roughly 9 hours left in this day. Again, hit that like button. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. Ethereum, like many cryptos, has really been consolidating and moving sideways, not doing anything exciting since the beginning of February. Unfortunately, my friends, I don't believe we're going to be doing anything exciting anytime soon. And the extent of excitement that we might see is slightly higher highs over the coming months. We're probably going to see a very similar formation as what we saw back here in our last consolidation phase before moving lower. Yes, I do think we will see lower prices. No, I don't think that's going to happen right now. If it does happen right now, if we do move down and we do see a lower low, the extent of which this move lasts is probably not going to be much. It's not going to be by too much. We would probably see a slightly lower low at the most, and we would likely recover from there. Okay. Any pump, any dump gets pumped or dumped back into, right? It's just volatility. That's all we're going to be seeing, and not really even extreme volatility. I guess it's been pretty extreme, honestly. Actually, that's pretty nice to see. As far as like actual price goes, like this is kind of volatile in itself, but really just consistent consolidation, more or less, right? That's what we're expecting. Maybe with a blemish here or there, but anyways, let's get into the short-term stuff. That's what I'm expecting probably between now and the end of April, if not even the end of May. Let's get into the short-term stuff and see what's going on right now. Okay, we are moving down. We're down about 4.5% on the day. Bitcoin's down about 3.6% on the day. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame and we'll zoom out from there. Okay, 1 hour time frame here. Volume's picking up as we're moving down. It is the 14th hour of the day. We are moving down right here, seeing a little bit of a pickup in volume and pace. The RSI is bearish, stochastics are bearish, the MACD is bearish. It's all bad everywhere. Not really getting any signals here that suggest that we're going to find support. Though what I will say is that typically, not always, but typically, we don't see the 1 hour RSI go too much lower than where it is now. We don't typically see it bounce here, but we don't typically see it go too much lower than where it is now. So probably a little bit lower. With that in mind, let's actually run the 4 hour time frame here. And let's just I might take this low. Yeah, not too much lower. Golden ratio, perfect. 1,966, 1,940. Perfect area to find support, and I bet that's what we do. 4 hour time frame here, looking at the RSI. Interesting. Kind of interesting. Definitely volatile in the 4 hour RSI, but the interesting thing here is this higher low dynamic. Again, implying that we will go lower, but not too much lower. Now imagine, my friends, that we find support right here. Okay, I'm gonna just draw that circle again. Imagine that we find support right here. I delete this line, and you can see that would be support right at the oversold zone. Getting overbought and then finding support right at the oversold zone, effectively rejecting the oversold zone in conjecture with this higher low dynamic that we have. That's not a bad look, guys. Ethereum has been volatile. It's probably going to continue to be volatile. I'm expecting that from here, from 1,966 to 1,944, wherever that low is, whatever. Was that the low that we identified? Let me just make sure that I'm on the right train of thought here. Hold on. 1,966, 1,941. From that area there, I would expect that we see the same stuff that we've been seeing, which is some rapid recovery. And we probably do see a higher high. Yeah, cool. But it will be the weekend. It will be the weekend. I don't expect that we do too much over the weekend. So maybe that recovery won't be as rapid as I expected, but give or take a couple days, right? Maybe next week than on Monday. But still, cool. So yeah, we might see a little bit of, a lower low again right here, lower prices. Not a lower low, I'm sorry, but lower prices than where we are now, just a little bit. Might consolidate over the weekend and be boring, and then we probably move up going into next week. I would expect that we do next week by the end of the week, which would be what? It'd be by the 15th. Probably even by the 13th, we would see prices that are back above $2,200. That's the call. Stochastics are bearish. The MACD is bullish, but you're taking a bearish tone right now, but still bullish overall. Yeah, I think that we will continue to move up. I don't think that we go too much lower from here. Daily time frame, looking at this, the MACD is getting to a point where you are trying to come up and cross above the zero. It would be nice to see. If we can cross above the zero, that might happen sometime next week. I think that's fair to assume. If not next week, then maybe the following week, but sometime here in March. And that cross typically implies that we see a nice little movement up, right? The last time we crossed, it wasn't that dramatic, but we went from about 3,000 up to about 3,300. We got a little bit more than a 10% pump. That's nice. The time before that, like when we crossed down here, we saw a little bit of a dump. We went from 4,500 all the way down to 3,800. That's a little bit more than a 10% move. It's almost a 20% move, right? Which to the upside would also be nice. To the downside, if you're short, I guess that'd be nice as well if you're looking to buy. Again, what I don't expect to happen here is that we're going to drop through the floor. Anything can happen. But even if that unexpected outcome happens and we do drop through the floor, we don't hold this as support, I would very much expect that we see a slightly lower low at worst from here, and then we probably recover. I don't think that we're in the mood. I don't think it's the right time to see too much of a lower price, right? Here we consolidated much longer, and then we finally saw the big move down. I don't think that we're at that point in time where we're ready to see a big move down just yet. I think we have more sideways to go, more hopes and dreams to build, and once the hopes and dreams are built, that's when we topple that, okay? But we're not there yet. Anyways, I don't really have anything else to say. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple, right? Very simply, I could just say anytime that we're above this line, probably sell. Anytime we're below this line, probably buy, and you will not be upset with that over the next 4 to 8 weeks. I'd even take it a step further. I think that buying below 1900 would be a very good thing, but I don't even expect that we get below there. I think 1944 or 1941 to 1966 is where we're going to find support, and then we'll recover from there, and we should be moving up next week and the following weeks. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.